Join us on the Rise Women Network, where our special guests will be speaking about economics, gentrification, colorism, film reviews, health and wellness, reparations, celebrity news, and entrepreneurship. Thank you, and be sure to tune in. Happy weekend, happy weekday, whatever day of week it is in your neck of the woods or whatever time it is. I hope you're all having a very good and positive day. It's a little sunny today, so the mood is a little bit up today. Yep, I just wanted to come in. This is Queen F, and I wanted to come in and share a little bit about my take on the Super Bowl halftime show. Super Bowl 2022 halftime show. Yeah. So sit back, relax, get you a little something to drink, some coffee, some tea, a little something to chill your cockles of your belly. Today's looking up a little bit. Everybody, we all have our share of problems and things going on, but sometimes it's good to get away, and one way that we get away is through sports. I enjoyed watching sports for the season, and it's a little downer that it's over. Now I know how the men feel. For years I didn't understand sports and didn't really like it until I got older. Then I could appreciate it when a friend of mine would watch it. So now I I'm an avid football sports person. I pretty much like the Packers, and I know I get dumped on for that, but and the Bears, of course. I'm a Chi-Town girl, so I like the Chicago Bears, and so I anticipated the Super Bowl halftime show like everyone else. I saw the commercials and I was like, oh my goodness, they got the Rat Packs, the hip hop Rat Pack together. They had Mary J. Blige, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Eminem, and Kendrick Lamar, And then we had a surprise guest, which was 50 Cent. Yeah, we saw him hanging upside down. I don't know what was with that particular move, but so it was I would say I enjoyed it. It was exciting, it was nice. A lot of people really, it took them by storm. They loved the outfits. I really loved Mary J's outfit. I mean, beautiful. Those thigh-high boots, everybody trying to not get them some thigh-high boots, but and that cowboy hat, man, that was so nice. That was so sharp. I just wanted to give my take. So I'm going to give some critique, and then I'm going to talk about celebrities and their assets, because people want to know, okay, why was this halftime show just filled with hip-hop artists? They want to know why, why them? And I say, why not? It's long overdue. Hip-hop has really... Hip-hop has been a very central part of American history. Back in the 80s, when we pretty much in urban communities were down and out and didn't have access to a lot of the entertainment venues, or we didn't have the finances to go to certain places and do certain things, and we were excluded in the black community. Hip-hop came and just took the world by storm, from the graffiti to the fashion, the sneakers, to the jogging suits, to the music. Women were laying down hip-hop tracks, Roxanne Shante, and Lady of Rage, and different artists, Ron DMC, Sugar Hill Gang, and then the movies Beach Street. It started to show us in a different light. It started to show the talent that we have, the entertainment, and laying down lyrics and empowering a community. This is what they did with rap and hip hop, and we'll talk about that at another time. But yeah, it has been a central part of American history, and look at how it has blown up. Look at the artists on the stage. You got Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige, Dr. Dre, Eminem, Kendrick Lamar, and 50 Cent. Those are currently millionaires and billionaires who have really, taken a place in history. But some, the drawback is that some of the hip hop or rap has, negative lyrics or steering the young people in the wrong direction and highlighting violence or, gang violence or money and, scantily clad women and the black men calling them women out as bitches and hoes back in the day, when they, some of the lyrics that were laid down was demoralizing and really put down to a race of women, black women. And so there's the negative, and then there's the positives, and mostly it looks like there were negatives back in the day, and so here we are, fast forward to 2022, and the lyrics, they've come back. The blast from the past, the artists that, put down some of these lyrics, and, they're on stage. But you know what? It kind of was nostalgic for a lot of people. I even read this one man said that he's a cancer patient, and he was laying down in the bed and just wallowing in his miseries. And when the Super Bowl 2022 halftime show kicked off, and the 90s music, Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and all that, the music, it brought him back to that time, and he leaped out of bed. He said he started dancing, and for that moment he felt like he was in the 90s. And pretty much that's what music does. It does take you back to that time. Some of those times in history were good moments and good memories that people can pull up and just put a smile on their face or put some movement in their body. And then some memories are bad memories. The violence that overtook our community, the black on black violence, the violence against black people from other nationalities, and the police, like NWA had, F the police and things like that. So there are dark moments, and then there were good memories and moments with this music. So pretty much, I think all in all that halftime show really helped to bring people some good memories, But then we got the critics. We got the critics about the outfits and the fact that they said the city of LA or whatever told Snoop Dogg not to wear the blue bandana, whatever, and not to do the crip walk. And then Snoop Dogg had a two-piece suit made out like a bandana, a blue bandana, and he did the crip walk. So he pretty much did what he wanted to do. And then, Mary J. Blige, I'm hearing the critics, about how, she's 50 years old and she's got those thigh high, those big thighs and a blonde hair. And why are black women wearing blonde hair? And is Mary J. responsible for your black mothers wearing the blonde hair? And how many of y'all mothers got blonde hair? So much criticism. Mary J. did her thing. Mary J. looks good, okay? She looks good for to be in her 50s, and she's had a hard life, So, and Dr. Dre, he really looked good. And when he sat down on that piano, I was like, wow, that's really nice. It's good to see a different image, a different portrayal He's older. He can't move around like he used to, but he did pretty good. And then Eminem, he took the knee, and then there's criticism about that. Why was Eminem the one who took the knee? With some people, you just can't please them. I mean, he did take the knee, so that was a good sign. But yeah, then they talked about 50 Cent. Why is he hanging backwards, upside down? Is that some type of ritual from the Illuminati and the spooky stuff and all these things that we hear? A lot of times we're our own worst critic. But you know what? I did kind of wonder, why was there only hip hop artists? Well, besides Mary J, who performed? What about the neo soul artists? What about R&B? What about the soul artists, jazz artists? We are talented as a people, and I'm grateful that we have our own people were represented. Because the league does not hire enough black coaches, and then we got a coach who has. Who was fired, who said that he was, it's not enough representation. He was told to lose games and things like that. So we got some sketchy things going on with the NFL. We want to, we'll talk about that another time, but I'm not going to talk about anything I'm not knowledgeable about, but I can see visually with my eyes that black coaches it's not enough black coaches. It's not enough NFL league owners who are of African American descent or, black descent. So yeah, that's something that really needs to be addressed. And you know what, Dr. Boyce Watkins, he did it. He really said a lot of things that I wanted to say on his show this morning. It's Monday morning now, because I initially tried to lay down this podcast and do my audio recording, and I had realized that 15 minutes of my audio was not recording, so I just shut down. I powered off, and I was like, oh my goodness, all this good stuff I said, and it wasn't even recorded. But Dr. Boyce Watkins, he said a lot about what I wanted to speak on, which is that, with the representation, it's good that we have, more of us. But you know what? For all the billions of dollars that we have, millions combined, all the people on stage, how many black schools do we have? How many black hospitals do we have? And we need to have more collective work and responsibility among our people who are wealthy and rich. We haven't gotten our reparations, although other nationalities have. The Asians, they get their reparations through different, and laws passed for them on their behalf. The Jews got their reparations. Native Americans got some form of reparations. The African Americans who built this country, we have yet to receive our reparations. So the other side of that is that we have black millionaires, billionaires, Kanye West, who with the combined money, there should be some type of collective work and responsibility. We talk about Kwanzaa, okay? That's one of the principles of Kwanzaa, working together to build. We're tired of asking. So let's work together. Why is it that with all the millionaires that were on that stage at halftime, why is it that we don't have more black-owned hospitals or amusement parks, basketball leagues, football leagues, junior leagues, businesses? We got a lot of black businesses, but they're really struggling. They're really struggling, especially with the pandemic. So I'm going to go through the celebrity, wealthy celebrity liquid assets, which I found on, it's called Wealthy Gorilla. I don't know, wealthygorilla.com. That name, I don't like that. There's those little subliminal little things they keep pulling up from the past, like the watermelon and chicken and all of that shit. They keep bringing all of that up. WealthyGorilla.com. Okay, anyway, we're going to, I'm going to read off some of the assets that that some of our celebrities have. And we'll just briefly talk about liquid assets. Liquid assets are assets that, it could be cash, stocks, bonds, things that, you don't see the money right now, but they can turn into actual cash, an actual asset. We're gonna go through the list. Okay, let's go to Mary J. Blige. Mary J. Blige and the other the halftime performers got a lot of flack from other people. I think some of our people mostly, who was like, they were surprised that they did not get paid for the halftime show. And all performers who perform for the Super Bowl halftime show do not get paid. And this is a first for me. I had no idea that the performers didn't get paid. I'm like, oh, they really coming up. But come up wasn't there. But the liquid assets, it could generate into a good publicity. Like Mary J. Blige said, she said, I'm cool with it. I'm good, rather. It's a good public relation move. And I think she's right, because right after that, she had commercials ran that showed that she has a jury line. So that increases her notability and public appearance among other people who aren't so big on her R&B music. And her jury line, they'll probably say, hey, well, I saw her on the halftime show on Super Bowl, and hey, I'm gonna check out Mary J's jury line. Snoop Dogg, he's just now been awarded CEO for Death Row Records, and he has a clothing store in LA that he's setting up that's going to be across from the Lulac Stadium. So that's going to be a big money generator. Dr. Dre, he's worth millions. And then let's do their assets. Okay, their assets. Mary J. Blige is worth $20 million. Her net worth, that's what they're saying. But we can go down and see, Mary J. has been working her butt off for years. And artists nowadays, they have to tour if they aren't either writer or control of their own publishing. I don't know if Mary J. is if she's wrote any of her lyrics. It sounds personal though, most of her lyrics, but is she ownership of her own publishing? And is she getting writing credits, financial credit? So if not, she's got to get out there and tour. That's why you see Mary touring a lot on stage. And we could look back at James Brown. James Brown worked for years, like they called him the hardest working man in entertainment, because he worked for years, baby, into his 70s, I think, where he was still touring and going on stage. So some of these artists have to really hump to get that money. And if Mary J., she's worth $20 million, but through her divorce that she went through with her ex-husband, he received spousal support and demanded $30,000 a month. So you can add that up and see that, when she gets done with expenses and things like that and spousal support, that $20 million dwindles pretty much down. Okay, so I understand. But let's go to Snoop Dogg. Okay, he's worth $160 million. Okay, and like I say, he's got the Death Row Records now, LA clothing store, so that number's gonna go up. Okay, but where are we gonna do the collective work and responsibility, Snoop? When are we gonna, open up some schools or museums or something after school, midnight football or basketball for the young people, the young youths that are out on the street? When are we going to give them something positive to do and help them to get away from that street life? Because we know that street life is a short life. Okay, all the things you talk about in your videos, the truth of the matter is most artists do not make it out. and become successful or wealthy. We got a lot of struggling hip hop artists that are just as talented, but they're dying in poverty, trying to make it big. So when are we going to give some of this money up and help our youth and the black community to increase their, with jobs, employment? We need that. Okay, Dr. Dre net worth asset is, they say, 480 million, but actually a white website on Google said 850 million. So Dr. Dre is worth 850 million. Okay, that's a lot of money. Okay, where's the collective working responsibility? When are we going to help our own people? Eminem is worth 25 million. Let's go back to Michael Jackson. In 2018, Michael Jackson's net worth was $400 million. Post-mortem, Michael Jackson was worth $2.4 billion. So post-mortem means before he passed. $2.4 billion. Okay, let's sit back and talk about MJ for a moment. Because MJ, Michael Jackson, and Prince tried to warn the artists. Own your own publishing. Michael Jackson, he ran out and he was working. Remember back in the 90s, he was working on the video with Paul McCartney. They did Say What You Want. Okay, Michael Jackson played the little, he was dancing around and sitting on the truck, sitting down looking like a little slave. They said that Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney used to talk during the video breaks, and Paul McCartney was like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go out and I'm going to own the Beatles catalog. I'm going to buy the Beatles catalog. Well, they say Michael Jackson ran out and bought the Beatles catalog, and he kind of pissed Paul McCartney off when he did that. But it was a power move. Michael Jackson was trying to let y'all know, hey, I'm not this little slave boy. Okay, in this video, I'm a smart businessman. He had a financial advisor who advised him how he could go out and own the Sony catalog, and Michael Jackson did, and that upped his net worth to $2.4 billion. Yes, so that's what it's about, owning your own publishing. Michael, he owned a lot of the music. A lot of artists, he gave their publishing rights back to them, and it really empowered them. So Michael Jackson knew the power of owning, and so just to let you know, that's where that $2.4 billion came from. Now when Mike passed and his family owned the Sony catalog, it went into the Jackson's trust fund or whatever. They got bought out back by Sony. Somebody sweet talked them, and they got the catalog back. Okay, they sold it for millions. I think maybe it was something in the neighborhood of 400 million, where the Jacksons got, Katherine Jackson, she got it, some kind of financial get it back, as far as financially, but she sold the Sony catalog back to, or gave it back pretty much back to Sony, because that catalog was worth billions of dollars. But like I said, MJ and Prince were trying to let us know, and with the power that they had, like when Prince, he took all of his music off of YouTube. He was like, no, I'm getting pennies on the dollar for these downloads. I want my catalog back. And then lo and behold, all of a sudden, Prince died. I'm going to leave it right there. I'm not going to go into that, but mysteriously he died. So, there's this game, and it's a serious game that they play with these artists. If you want to try to be independent and own your own stuff, but then something happens. So that's a whole nother thing. But all the money that and the wealth that we have, Mariah Carey net worth $320 million. Now we're going to go to Kanye West. Kanye West's net worth is labeled on one website through Google. I found his net worth is $1.8 billion, but Kanye West's net worth on another website was $6.6 billion. So that's a lot. Like I say, where's the collective working responsibility? Is the urban communities in Chicago and different urban communities in LA, where are they run down and the kids still struggling to find jobs and to make it? Why isn't there a few black owned studios in these urban cities where the young artists can come to and lay down their music and get the rights to their own music and become just as successful? Why is it that we're not doing the collective working responsibility? We're not following the principles of Kwanzaa. And I think we will be held responsibility if we let our own people go down the swamps, go down the drain, die of poverty, die of starvation, die of gang violence, trying to sell drugs and stuff like that. That stuff don't work nowadays, okay? You either gonna live a short life or you will wind up selling your own mama bag, okay? That's what it gets down to. When it's all about that money, that's what it gets down to. You become a slave to whatever that environment dictates. Okay, so we go back to the other celebrity hip hop artist, Nicki Minaj. She's one of the richest hip hop artists, and she's worth $75 million. And Cardi B net worth is $8 million. MC Lyte $8 million. Eve, who was with Rough Riders Entertainment, her net worth is $10 million. Spinderella $10 million. Lil Kim $18 million. Missy Elliott $50 million. I'm gonna say it again. Missy Elliott $50 million. Queen Latifah $60 million. Okay, where is the money? Remember back in the day they had the commercial with that lady, where's the beef? The old white lady on the Wendy's commercial. Where's the beef? Where's the money? In one room, T.I., who is that? All these different rap artists that are worth millions. In one room, you got $2 or $3 billion. When are we going to spread this money out into our own people and develop our own hospitals? They get on Dr. Umar Johnson about not starting a school, talking about he's a scammer. Okay, he's only one man. What is all these billions of dollars that we're generating? Why isn't it that we don't have our own hospitals, schools? We got a few restaurants here and there in different urban cities. In Atlanta, they blow up in Atlanta. That's one thing they do have their businesses going on. But we've got to do more as a people. We really do. It was nice. The halftime was nice. It was nice to see our own people represented, but bringing back that old street music and the bees and hoes and the drugs and and the different wearing all the heavy jewelry around our neck and representing like the street life that's gonna get us out the ghetto. Y'all better tell these kids the truth. Y'all better tell these kids that maybe 1% makes it out and the others are either incarcerated, trying to come up and sell drugs and be the man. And this is my street corner. There ain't nobody own those street corners but the white people or the Jews. They own the music business. What's the difference between a slave being owned in the 1800s and a slave being owned in 2022? The dollar signs behind that number. That's the only difference. Let's have some pride now, people. It was nice. The show was nice, But like I say, we got to do more. We got to do better. Don't bring back this old music that's going to have our kids killing each other. Keep that shit back there in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Keep it back there. Come on, it's time to be. Where's the evolution, the innovation? Let's rap about how we were kings and queens in Africa. Queen Ty, Queen Hatshepsut, Queen Isis, King Akhenaten, King Osiris. Let's rap about that. Oh, but that probably don't generate money, because the powers that be don't want us to know that we're more than slaves. y'all. I'm gonna let it go. Okay, I just wanted to get my tidbit. This is Queen F of Ari'ze Women Network. Thank you for tuning in. Look for my upcoming videos, documentaries. I'm doing Greenwood Mama's Story. I did a part 1. Part 2 is going to come out in a couple of more weeks. I got some other projects coming out. I don't want to say much, but it's another big documentary coming later this summer. Look for that, and just look for my podcast and give me your likes, comments, and let me know, what do you think about the Super Bowl halftime show, and the representation. The celebrities, the wealthy celebrities, are they being held responsible for contributing to our communities that are starving, that really need more positive influences? So thank you for tuning in to Queen F Speaks on Ari'ze Women Network, and you be blessed. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share.